Welcome to Coin Worth Million, a channel dedicated to valuable old coins with unbelievable prices. Here, a single rare coin can be worth millions of dollars, capable of turning collectors and coin lovers into millionaires. We explore rare, historic, and rare coins, hidden treasures. Among modern U.S. coins, the 2001 New York quarter with the P Mint mark stands out as one of the rarest and most valuable varieties ever discovered. Featuring the historic 1788 date, certain rare and high-grade examples have shocked collectors by reaching life-changing, millionaire-level prices. The 2001 United States quarter dollar, often discussed by collectors and the general public alike as a coin officially called the 2001 New York State quarter, part of the celebrated 50 state quarters program produced by the United States Mint between 1999 and 2008. This particular coin carries not only monetary value but also historical and symbolic significance rooted in both American statehood and national identity. The face value of this coin is 25 cents, 1/4 of a US dollar, which is the amount it would be worth if you used it in everyday commerce. However, most numismatists, coin collectors, value it not merely as currency but as a piece of U.S. heritage and a collectible whose worth can vary based on its condition, rarity, and whether it has been certified by professional grading services. On the obverse front side of the 2001 New York State quarter is the familiar portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, whose profile has adorned U.S. quarters since 1932. This design was originally created by sculptor John Flanagan and was modified by William Cousins to fit the requirements of the State Quarters series. Around Washington's portrait on the obverse are the inscriptions, United States of America, Liberty, the national motto, In God We Trust, and the denomination, quarter dollar. The placement of these inscriptions reflects a redesign that occurred with the State Quarters series. Words that had previously appeared on the reverse were shifted to the obverse to allow a larger, more expressive design on the reverse. The reverse back side of the 2001 New York quarter was designed by Daniel Carr and engraved by Alfred Malitsky. It prominently features the Statue of Liberty, one of the most iconic symbols of freedom and democracy in the United States, standing tall against the outline of the state of New York. Around this central motif are inscriptions including, New York, the year, 1788, the phrase, Gateway to Freedom, the year of issue, 2001, and the traditional motto, E pluribus unum, Latin for, out of many, one. The 1788 date does not indicate when the coin was minted. The coin was minted in 2001 rather. It marks the year New York was admitted into the Union as the 11th state on July 26, 1788, following the ratification of the U.S. Constitution. The 11 stars arranged around the design reflect this position as the 11th state. The theme, Gateway to Freedom, was chosen to honor New York's role in American history as a principal port of entry for immigrants coming to the United States during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty especially became powerful symbols for millions of people arriving in America seeking new opportunities and freedoms. The outline of the state shown behind the statue includes a tracing of the Hudson River and the historic Erie Canal, both of which played major roles in the growth and transportation history of New York. The final design was selected through a public competition involving submissions from the residents of New York, with the Statue of Liberty concept ultimately chosen for its iconic representation of the state's heritage. The quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, a legislative initiative, Public Law 105-124, intended to celebrate each state's unique history by issuing quarters with state-specific reverse designs in the order that the states ratified the Constitution or were admitted into the Union. The program proved incredibly popular with the public and collectors alike, significantly increasing interest in U.S. coins. The New York quarter was officially released into circulation on January 2, 2001, making it the 11th coin in this program and the first state quarter issued in 2001. In terms of composition and physical properties, The standard circulation strikes of the 2001 New York quarter produced by the Philadelphia P and Denver D mints are made from a clad composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, resulting in a total mass of about 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and a reeded, serrated edge. This copper-nickel clad composition has been standard for U.S. quarters since 1965, replacing the earlier silver composition that was used prior to that year. The P Mint mark specifically denotes that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the oldest and most historically significant U.S. mint facilities, operating since 1792. In 2001, the Philadelphia Mint produced 619,640,000 New York quarters with the P Mint mark for circulation alone, which makes these coins common in everyday pocket change and collections alike. There were also other varieties from that year. The Denver D Mint struck 655,400,000, and the San Francisco S Mint produced both clad and silver-proof versions for collectors, with the clad proofs being about 3,094,140 pieces and the 90% silver proofs being about 889,697 pieces. Collectors distinguish between circulated, used in commerce, and uncirculated, never spent, often in mint condition examples, as well as proof coins, specially struck for collectors with a mirror-like finish and sharper detail. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint were not intended for general circulation but rather sold in special sets. Some proof coins were also made in 90% silver, giving them intrinsic metal value in addition to numismatic value for collectors. Regarding value, the intrinsic face value of this coin remains 25 cents if used for everyday payments, but its collector value can be significantly higher depending on condition, rarity of the specific strike, and whether the coin has been professionally graded. In circulated condition, a typical 2001 P New York quarter is still generally worth close to face value, about 25 cents, because so many were minted. However, if an example is uncirculated, mint state, with sharp details and minimal wear, it can command a premium. For instance, uncirculated coins graded MS-60 and above might sell for modest amounts, while higher grades like MS-65 or MS-67 can fetch more in coin dealer showrooms or auctions. In rare cases, specially graded pieces with exceptional strike quality have sold for hundreds or even more. Auction records show certain high-grade MS-69 specimens bringing prices well above standard circulation value. Proof coins, particularly those struck in silver and graded highly, also have additional value to collectors above face value due to their metal content and collectible status. Beyond pure numismatic value, the 2001 New York quarter holds emotional and symbolic resonance for many Americans because 2001 was also the year of the tragic September 11 attacks on New York City. Although the coin was released months before the attacks, many people later associated it with the events of that year, and it became a poignant reminder in the years immediately following those events. This historical context has contributed to a different kind of cultural significance that sometimes influences how individuals perceive the coin, although such associations do not necessarily increase its monetary value in the numismatic market. In summary, the 2001 United States quarter dollar with a P Mint mark is a standard issue New York State quarter, part of the 50 State Quarters program. It commemorates New York's entry into the Union in 1788, symbolizes the state's role in American history as a gateway to freedom, and physically embodies American coinage standards of the modern era with its copper-nickel clad composition and iconic imagery. While most examples remain worth face value in everyday use, condition, rarity of strike, proof status, and collector interest can elevate certain coins to higher collectible value over time. Next coin. The 1999 United States quarter dollar, Connecticut, bearing the mint mark, D, is one of the most historically meaningful and widely collected modern American coins. This coin belongs to the famous 50-state quarters program, a landmark initiative by the United States in 2008. The program was created to celebrate the unique history, culture, and contributions of each U.S. state by issuing a new quarter design for every state, released in the order in which the states ratified the U.S. Constitution or were admitted into the Union. The Connecticut quarter was among the very first 5 coins released in 1999, making it especially important in modern U.S. numismatic history. The face value of the Connecticut quarter is 25 cents, or 1/4 of a U.S. dollar, but its real importance lies in its symbolism, historical references, and collectible appeal. Millions of Americans encountered this coin in daily circulation, while collectors preserved high-quality examples, proof versions, and error coins. Over time, certain rare varieties and exceptionally well-preserved specimens have become highly desirable. On the obverse front side of the 1999 Connecticut quarter is the classic portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This image has appeared on U.S. quarters since 1932 and was originally designed by sculptor John Flanagan. For the state quarters program, the obverse was slightly modified to accommodate additional inscriptions. Surrounding Washington's portrait are the words, "United States of America, Liberty, in God We Trust," and "Quarter Dollar." The mint mark, D, indicating production at the Denver Mint, appears on the obverse to the right of Washington's ponytail. The reverse back side of the coin features one of the most artistically admired designs of the entire state quarters series, the Charter Oak, an ancient and legendary white oak tree that stood in Hartford, Connecticut. This tree is deeply rooted in American colonial history. In 1687, according to tradition, Connecticut colonists hid the royal charter of 1662 inside the hollow trunk of this oak tree to protect it from being seized by representatives of the English crown. By hiding the charter, the colonists symbolically preserved their right to self-government, making the charter oak a powerful emblem of freedom, independence, and resistance to tyranny. Surrounding the image of the charter oak are the inscriptions, Connecticut, 1788, E pluribus unum, and 1999. The date 1788 does not represent the year the coin was minted, instead, it marks the year Connecticut ratified the U.S. Constitution and officially became the 5th state of the United States on January 9, 1788. This is why 5 clusters of leaves appear on the tree branches in the design, subtly symbolizing Connecticut's position as the 5th state. The Connecticut quarter was officially released into circulation on October 12, 1999, alongside quarters for Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Georgia. As one of the first state quarters ever issued, it played a major role in igniting nationwide interest in coin collecting, especially among young collectors and families. Many people who had never collected coins before began saving state quarters, creating albums and sets that are still popular today. In terms of material and composition, the 1999 D Connecticut quarter follows the standard modern U.S. quarter specifications used since 1965. It is composed of a clad structure, consisting of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, bonded over a pure copper core. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and features a reeded grooved edge. This copper-nickel composition replaced the earlier silver quarters that were minted before 1965, making modern quarters more durable and cost-effective for mass production. The Denver Mint D mint mark struck a very large number of Connecticut quarters for circulation in 1999. Approximately 688,744,000 Connecticut quarters were produced at Denver, making standard circulated examples quite common today. Despite this high mintage, condition plays a crucial role in determining value. Coins that were heavily circulated typically show wear on Washington's hair, the tree's branches, and the lettering, while uncirculated examples retain sharp details and original mint luster. In addition to regular circulation strikes, proof versions of the Connecticut quarter were produced at the San Francisco Mint mark. These proof coins were specially made for collectors using polished dies and planchettes, resulting in mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. Some proof quarters were struck in 90% silver, giving them intrinsic metal value beyond face value. These silver proofs are particularly popular among collectors who prefer precious metal coinage. When discussing value, it is important to distinguish between different conditions and varieties. A typical circulated 1999 D Connecticut quarter is generally worth face value, 25 cents. However, an uncirculated coin in mint state condition can be worth more, especially if it grades MS65 or higher. Coins graded MS67 or MS68 by professional grading services can command significantly higher prices, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars due to their exceptional quality and rarity at that grade. Additionally, certain mint errors and varieties have made the 1999 D Connecticut quarter famous among collectors. One of the most well-known errors is the spitting horse style die crack, although more commonly associated with Delaware, as well as die cracks through the charter oak, off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, and doubled dies. Rare error coins in excellent condition can be extremely valuable and, in exceptional cases, sell for large sums at auction. Beyond its monetary value, the 1999 Connecticut quarter holds great cultural and educational significance. It tells the story of early American resistance to authoritarian rule, the importance of written law, and the fight for self-governance long before independence from Britain was fully achieved. As such, the coin serves not only as currency but also as a miniature historical document carried in metal. In summary, the 1999 D Connecticut quarter dollar is a cornerstone of modern U.S. coin collecting. Featuring the historic 1788 statehood date, the legendary charter oak, and the trusted craftsmanship of the Denver Mint, this coin represents the beginning of a new era in American numismatics. While most examples remain common in circulation, rare errors, high-grade specimens, and silver-proof versions can be highly valuable, making this coin a lasting favorite among collectors and historians alike. The 2002 United States quarter dollar, Indiana, bearing the mint mark, P, is a significant modern American coin issued as part of the renowned 50-state quarters program, one of the most successful and educational coin programs in U.S. history. This program, authorized by Congress and launched by the United States Mint in 1999, aimed to honor each U.S. state with a unique reverse design, released in the order in which states joined the Union. Indiana's quarter was released in 2002, commemorating the state's admission to the Union in 1816, and stands as an important representation of American frontier history, westward expansion, and national growth. The face value of the Indiana quarter is 25 cents, but its importance extends far beyond its purchasing power. The coin captures a key chapter in American history, the expansion of the young United States into the Midwest and the transformation of wilderness into organized states. Millions of these quarters were released into circulation, yet collectors continue to search for high-grade examples, proof versions, and mint errors that elevate the coin's numismatic value. On the obverse front side of the 2002 Indiana quarter is the familiar portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This image has appeared on U.S. quarters since 1932 and was originally designed by sculptor John Flanagan. For the State Quarters series, the obverse design was slightly modified so that additional inscriptions could be placed clearly while allowing space on the reverse for a detailed state design. The inscriptions on the obverse include, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and quarter dollar. The mint mark, P, which signifies that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, appears to the right of Washington's portrait. The Philadelphia Mint, represented by the P mint mark, is the oldest and most historically important mint in the United States, having operated since 1792. Coins struck there are often prized for their strong strikes and consistent quality. In 2002, the Philadelphia Mint produced a large quantity of Indiana quarters for nationwide circulation, ensuring that the coin reached every corner of the country. The reverse back side of the Indiana quarter features a powerful and symbolic design centered on a race car, a nod to Indiana's world-famous Indianapolis 500, one of the most iconic automobile races in history. The race car is depicted speeding to the right, symbolizing motion, progress, and innovation. Behind the car is the outline of the state of Indiana, emphasizing state pride and identity. This imagery highlights Indiana's reputation as the crossroads of America and a global center of motorsports engineering and racing tradition. Surrounding the reverse design are the inscriptions, Indiana, 1816, E pluribus unum, and 2002. The date 1816 does not represent the year the coin was minted, rather, it marks the year Indiana was admitted to the Union as the 19th state, on December 11, 1816. This was a critical period in U.S. history, when America was rapidly expanding westward following the Louisiana Purchase. Indiana's statehood symbolized the nation's growing strength, agricultural development, and transportation expansion. The Indiana quarter was officially released into circulation on August 8, 2002, as the 19th coin in the 50-state quarters program. Its release generated strong public interest, especially among Indiana residents and motorsports fans. The race car design made it one of the most visually distinctive and modern-looking coins in the entire series. In terms of material and composition, the 2002 Indiana quarter follows the standard specifications for modern U.S. quarters established in 1965. The coin is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, consisting of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This layered structure provides durability while maintaining a bright silver-colored appearance. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and features a reeded edge, which helps deter counterfeiting and allows easy identification by touch. The mintage of the 2002 Indiana quarter was very high, with approximately 565 million coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint alone. Due to this large production, most circulated examples remain common and are generally worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, condition is a crucial factor in determining collector value. Coins that were never used in circulation and retain full mint luster, sharp details, and no wear are classified as uncirculated or mint state coins. When it comes to value, a typical circulated 2002 Indiana quarter is worth face value. An uncirculated example may be worth more, especially if it grades MS65 or higher. Coins graded MS67 or MS68 by professional grading services can command significantly higher prices due to their rarity at such high grades. In exceptional cases, nearly flawless examples have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. In addition to standard coins, proof versions of the Indiana quarter were produced by the San Francisco Mint mark. These proof coins were specially struck for collectors using polished dies and planchettes, resulting in sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. Some proof Indiana quarters were struck in 90% silver, giving them additional intrinsic value based on precious metal content. Silver-proof coins are especially popular with collectors who prefer modern coins made from traditional precious metals. Another area of collector interest is mint errors and varieties. Although not extremely common, errors such as off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, doubled dies, die cracks, and weak strikes can significantly increase a coin's value. Error coins from the State Quarters series are actively sought by collectors because they combine historical themes with rarity and uniqueness. Beyond its financial worth, the 2002 Indiana quarter holds strong cultural and historical significance. It represents Indiana's contributions to American transportation, engineering, and sports culture, while also commemorating the state's early role in the nation's westward growth. The race car design bridges the past and the present, connecting Indiana's 19th-century statehood with its modern global identity. In summary, the 2002 Indiana quarter dollar is an important piece of modern U.S. coinage. Featuring the 1816 statehood date, a bold race car design, and the craftsmanship of the Philadelphia Mint, this coin reflects both historical depth and modern innovation. While most examples remain common in circulation, high-grade coins, proof versions, silver issues, and rare mint errors make the Indiana quarter a lasting favorite among collectors and an enduring symbol of American progress. The 2007 United States quarter dollar, Utah, bearing the mint mark, P, is an important modern American coin issued as part of the highly influential 50-state quarters program, a nationwide initiative created by the United States Mint to honor the history, identity, and cultural legacy of each U.S. state. The Utah quarter was released in 2007 to commemorate Utah's admission to the Union in 1896, and it stands as a powerful symbol of perseverance, faith, westward expansion, and the enduring spirit of the American frontier. Although its face value is only 25 cents, the Utah quarter carries deep historical meaning and remains a popular collectible among numismatists. The 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008, released 5 new state-themed quarters each year in the order the states ratified the Constitution or joined the Union. Utah's quarter was issued as the 45th coin in the series, reflecting the state's position as the 45th state, admitted on January 4, 1896. This timing placed Utah among the later states to join the Union, following decades of settlement, territorial governance, and political negotiation. On the obverse front side of the 2007 Utah quarter appears the well-known left-facing portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This portrait has been used on the quarter dollar since 1932 and was originally designed by sculptor John Flanagan. For the State Quarters series, the obverse design was slightly modified to reposition inscriptions and allow greater artistic freedom on the reverse. The obverse inscriptions include, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and quarter dollar. The mint mark, P, located near Washington's portrait, indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest mint facility in the United States, established in 1792. The Philadelphia Mint has played a central role in American coinage since the nation's founding, and coins bearing the P mint mark are widely collected for their historical continuity and reliable strike quality. In 2007, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Utah quarters for general circulation, ensuring widespread availability across the country. The reverse back side of the Utah quarter features a bold and symbolic design centered on the phrase, Crossroads of the West. This motto reflects Utah's historical role as a major junction for pioneers, traders, railroads, and migration routes during the 19th century. The design shows 2 trains, one representing the Central Pacific Railroad and the other the Union Pacific Railroad, approaching each other from opposite directions. These trains symbolize the completion of the first transcontinental railroad at Promontory Summit, Utah, in 1869, one of the most transformative events in American history. Above the trains is the inscription, Utah, while below appears, 1896, the year Utah achieved statehood. The phrase, E pluribus unum, out of many, one, is also included, emphasizing national unity. The design powerfully conveys Utah's role as a meeting point of East and West, tradition and progress, isolation and connection. Unlike many state quarters that focus on natural beauty or political symbols, Utah's quarter highlights infrastructure and national development, making it historically distinctive within the series. The date 1896 on the coin does not indicate when the quarter was minted, rather, it marks the year Utah became the 45th state of the United States. Utah's path to statehood was long and complex, shaped by settlement by members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, territorial governance, economic development, and negotiations with the federal government. Utah's admission symbolized the closing of the American frontier and the integration of the Western territories into the national framework. The Utah Quarter was officially released into circulation on November 15, 2007, and was one of the final coins issued in the state quarters program. By that time, the program had already become the most successful commemorative coin initiative in U.S. history, dramatically increasing public interest in coin collecting and introducing millions of people to American history through everyday currency. In terms of material and composition, the 2007 Utah Quarter follows the standard modern U.S. quarter specifications in use since 1965. The coin is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, consisting of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This structure gives the coin durability while maintaining a bright, silver-colored appearance. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and features a reeded edge, which helps prevent counterfeiting and aids identification by touch. The mintage of the 2007 Utah Quarter was substantial, with approximately 374 million coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Because of this high production number, most circulated examples are still common today. Coins that have seen heavy circulation often show wear on Washington's hair, the train details, and the lettering, while uncirculated examples retain sharp details and original mint luster. Regarding value, a typical circulated 2007 Utah Quarter is generally worth face value, 25 cents. However, uncirculated mint state examples can be worth more, particularly those graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services. Coins in very high grades such as MS-67 or MS-68 are much scarcer and can sell for significantly higher prices, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction due to their exceptional preservation and strike quality. In addition to regular circulation coins, proof versions of the Utah Quarter were produced at the San Francisco Mint mark. These proof coins were made specifically for collectors using specially prepared dies and planchettes, resulting in sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. Some proof Utah Quarters were struck in 90% silver, giving them intrinsic precious metal value in addition to numismatic appeal. Silver-proof coins are especially popular among collectors who appreciate modern designs in traditional precious metal form. Another area of interest for collectors is mint errors and varieties. While not extremely common, errors such as off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, die cracks, double dies, and weak strikes can significantly increase the value of a Utah Quarter. Error coins from the state quarters program are actively sought because they combine historical designs with genuine rarity. Beyond its monetary worth, the 2007 Utah Quarter carries deep historical and cultural significance. It commemorates Utah's journey from isolated territory to fully integrated state, its role in uniting the nation through transportation and trade, and its contribution to the settlement of the American West. The imagery of converging trains serves as a lasting reminder of how technology, cooperation, and determination shaped the modern United States. In summary, the 2007 Utah Quarter dollar is a meaningful piece of modern American coinage. Featuring the 1896 statehood date, the powerful crossroads of the West, railroad design, and the craftsmanship of the Philadelphia Mint, this coin represents unity, progress, and national growth. While most examples remain common in circulation, high-grade coins, proof issues, silver versions, and rare mint errors ensure that the Utah Quarter remains an enduring and respected collectible in American numismatics.